Instead, I created, alongside my chat, this build, which is basically just Zodiac. It's the Zodiac game plan, but with Ragnaraika. Now, if you don't know what the Zodiac game plan is, it is full combo with 4 hand traps. That's basically it. Hey, if we draw Seed or if we draw Bloom, that's full combo with 4 hand traps, which is pretty good. So we're running a bunch of hand traps at triple Valor, triple Ash, triple Maxi, triple Imperm. We're also running 2 triple tack as well as 2 Nibiru and a Droll. Reason being for all of this stuff is just kind of like maxing out on cards. I wanted the Droll in here as well for 41 so that we don't break as often on the Hunting Dance, so that we're less likely to draw that. So there's that. I could also go up to 42 and include like an additional hand trap or something like that, like Valor, or not Valor, like Mourner or Ghost Spell or something like that. That probably would be a little bit better. But that's kind of the idea. The end board that Ragnaraika makes is not very strong. However, add in some hand traps and it becomes quite formidable. So, yeah, that's more or less the game plan. As for the rest of the cards, we are playing 3 Evil Seed, which says you can special summon this card by discarding or by sending a insect, plant, or reptile from your hand to the graveyard. You can only special summon it once per turn this way, and then also you on normal or special, you can add up to 2 Ragnaraika cards, then banish banish a card from your hand, and then you're locked into insect, plant, or reptiles. Pretty decent. It also adds 2 cards, which is kind of crazy, and it also can trigger the second card that we're going to talk about, which is Wicked Butterfly, which says you can discard this card to special summon a Tri-type from your hand, and then on top of that, if it's banished from hand or grave, you can draw cards during the end phase equal to the number of monsters with different types you control that are insect, plant, or reptile, so up to 3, which is okay. It's mostly just used to kind of like supplement your engine and banish some additional cards. Then, of course, we are playing 2 of the Samurai Beetle and 2 of the Armored Lizard. Both have ways to special summon themselves, either by putting a banished card back or by banishing a card from grave. And then the Samurai Beetle has the effect where if it's sent to the graveyard for the link material of a Ragnarika card, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Tri-type in defense. And then on top of that, we have the Armored Lizard, which has some sort of like disruption effect or removal, where it discards a Tri-type in order to target a face-up monster and return it to the hand, which is, again, fairly decent, but it's not insane. And then we're also playing triple Lone Fire because it just is another way to get into Ragnaraika, the Evil Seed. The other starter that we have is triple triple Ragnaraika Bloom, which increases the attack and defense of all Tri-types, as well as lowering all of the other attacks by 300. So it's a 600 difference, which does come up quite significantly. This card's really, really good. And on top of that, you can search it with the Evil Seed, and it can search the Evil Seed itself. You add a Ragnaraika card from your deck to your hand, and then discard a card. Great. Or you can special summon it from hand, deck, or banishment in defense position. Also great. Meaning if you need to, you can reborn a guy, which is why we're playing some of the link ones that allow us to kind of do that. So pretty good with that. We're also playing one other card that's kind of a tech card in here, which is the Bee Trooper Descent. All it does is summon a level 3 token. Doesn't really matter. It's an insect. It's a level 3 token. And it's just like a way to get a free summon. So if you like normal summon it gets negated with like Imperm, you go Bee Trooper Descent, you special summon a guy, and then you're able to go into the Ragnarika skeleton, which is great. So all in all, pretty good. Also, if you draw this with like a hand trap, you can normal summon the hand trap, activate the Descent, and then go into the skeleton soldier, which kind of doesn't do much, but like it's something, right? So there's that. As for the one last card we are playing is the Hunting Dance, which says target cards your opponent controls up to the number of monster types among the link monsters you control that are insect, plant, or reptile. Most of the time it's 1, at least on your first turn, and then you destroy them. Then if a face-up Tri-type gets destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is in your grave, except the turn it was sent there, banish it, destroy a monster. Target a monster your opponent controls, destroy it. Great. It's okay, but we're playing 2 of it because we need it over multiple turns. We're kind of playing more of a mid-range, kind of slower strategy, so we're not going to like immediately kill them on the first turn. There you go. We're also playing things like Pot of Desires and Pot of Prosperity. Yes, Pot of Prosperity does, not do too well with the Wicked Butterfly, but sometimes you really just need the specific card. As for the extra deck, it's pretty simple. Almirage for corner cases, Dryas as well for corner cases, and Armor Horn for funny reasons. I don't know. We're also playing 3 Skeleton Soldier, which says just any 2 monsters, including a plant, or including a Tri-type. You can target a Ragnaraika monster in your grave, special summon in defense. Then, if this card is in the grave, you can target a plant, insect, or reptile monster you control, place it on the bottom of the deck, and if you do, special summon this card. Notably, gotta put it on the bottom of the deck, so you can't put back, like, Link monsters, and you can't put back cards that would, like, banish themselves or something like that. So, do keep that in mind. If you wanted to use this effect and you put a card back, it's got to actually go back to the bottom of the deck, otherwise it's not going to special summon. And then it locks you for the turn. You can't use either of the effects if you summon a monster that is not Tri-type. I was originally going to play Cash in this. You can't do that, because it would lock you out of the Skeleton Soldier, and this is the best card here. We're also playing Lizardos for, like, attack modulation stuff and, like, drawing cards. It's not great, but we have a bunch of space. We're playing 2 Mantis Monk, which is pretty decent, which you banish 2 reptile, plant, and or Tri-types to add a trap from your deck to your hand. You're going to add this guy. It's pretty good. You kind of need to go through it. And then it has the same effect as the Skeleton. All of the Link monsters have that effect. That secondary effect where you place a card onto the bottom in order to special summon itself. Pretty good. We also have Selene Snapper. We just have the 1 of 8. You banish 2 monsters from your grave. Just any 2 monsters. And then you pop 2 spells and traps from your opponent. Not terrible. It's just for, like, again, corner cases. If they have, like, Nightmare Pain or something along those lines, you know. Access Code Talker is here because it's funny. We have 2 Chain Coils, which is if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can activate this effect. Your opponent, or neither player can activate the effects of monsters in hand this turn, which isn't terrible. Yes, I know we're playing a whole bunch of hand traps, but at the very least, it's still fairly decent, allowing you to, like, you know, negate a monster with, like, an effect failure, and then, you know, activate the imperm later, while also cutting them off of, like, other such hand traps, right? So there's that. If this card is in your graveyard, it has the same effect, yada yada. And then we have the big boss monster, Stag Sovereign, which has a phenomenal animation, which says if this card is special summoned, or sorry, if a monster is special summoned from the extra deck or deck, you can destroy 2 monsters on the field. Notably, not targets, but it's not great. He's just kind of here to chill. He's big. That's it. Most of the time you are making him, he's still fairly decent, and alongside this guy and this, you have a potential pop 3, which is, again, fairly decent, alongside some hand traps. So, let's hop into the duels and show you how this deck performed. Alright, so here we are going second, and we drew a fairly decent hand. Sadly, we are going second, so it's not the greatest. But my opponent is going to go for the Taya, pitch off of the long one, and then go right into Qixing long one. We're going to burn for 12, and they're going to pass. Okay, sure. I guess. We're going to draw the Imperm, and for some reason I do this during the draw phase and not during the main phase. I don't know why I did that, but it's fine. Anyway, we're going to go for the Pot of Prosperity, and we're going to activate the effect. They go for the Maxi, and I was like, it's fine. Look, the triple attack's still activatable. We're obviously going to call it by that. We're going to reveal off the top. Oh, there he is. There's the Evil Seed. Hooray! And then we're going to look at the opponent's hand. I don't know why we didn't normal summon the Taya there. Though, to be fair, had they normal summoned Taya, we would have had a much better time. Because we would have just stolen their Chixiao, and then it would have been pretty good. But they definitely could have done more there. Anyway, we're going to go for the normal summon of the Lone Fire Blossom. We're going to special summon out the Ragnaraika Evil Seed and grab Bloom and the Beetle. Then we're going to banish the Wicked Sunflower, just because, you know, it's fodder. And then we're going to go for the Bloom here, and we're going to link off into the Skeleton Soldier after special summoning the Beetle. Beetle, this effect is going to activate, bringing back the Lone Fire Blossom. Lone Fire is going to go into Lone Fire, and then Lone Fire into Lone Fire, just because I want to cycle them out of the deck. Here, we're going to grab the Armored Lizard and pitch the Ragnarika Evil Seed, to then banish the Evil Seed and special summon the Armored Lizard. We're going to special summon back one more guy, and my opponent just decides to concede there. Honestly, we did have quite a bit going for us. What we would have done there is link off of these 3 in order to go into the trap, or to search out the guy that searches the trap, and then go for the 5 and then just walk into and that's pretty much our best end field, and they have a driver in hand, so it's looking pretty good. Alright, and here we are going first. So let me show you what this deck actually plans to do going first. We drew Descent, which is kind of funny. We're going to start off here with the Bloom. We're going to activate its effect. We're going to grab up the Evil Seed and send the Wicked Butterfly to the grave. Here we grab the Samurai Beetle and, of course, the Armored Lizard, and I banish the Descent because I don't need it. We're going to banish here the Armored Lizard, which will trigger the Wicked Butterfly, which we will then shuffle back with the Samurai Beetle. Samurai is going to bring back the Armored Lizard, and then we're going to activate the Skeleton in order to bring back another guy. Here we can go for the Mantis Monk and activate its effect, banishing 2. I keep the Beetle in grave, and then we grab the other trap. We're going to link both of those off into the Stag Sovereign, sets 2, and pass. Drawing at the end phase a maximum cockroach. Hooray. We're going to go for the Maxi. My opponent has the called by. Minigame lost. Tragic. My opponent has 5 cards. Let's see what we can do here. My opponent is going to start off here with the Imperm. Fairly good. That's a pretty good Imperm. Then they're going to go for the Fire King Sanctuary. We're going to promptly pop that. Then they go for Kieran. Interesting. Popping Ponix. Don't know why we didn't decide to normal summon that there, but okay. Out comes the original Sinful Spoil. They're going to grab up the Ash and Valor. And that's pretty much it. Out comes Link Karibo, and they pass the turn. Cool. Don't know why we didn't normal summon the Ponix there. Would it have mattered? Maybe. But given the fact that... No, yeah, it probably mattered significantly there. I draw the called by here, so I'm just going to call by the Ponix here. Comedy. And, anyway... we're going to go for the Bloom here. We're going to special summon it back at the Ragnaraika Evil Seed. Yes, it was banished. We got it back. Pretty good. We're going to grab up the Wicked Butterfly and banish it as well. Then we can go for the Samurai Beetle and just kind of do the same thing that we did on the previous turn. Except now we're actually going to shuffle back in order to go for the Skeleton here because it's just an extra material. We can bring back a guy and then go from there. So it's pretty good to just cycle that guy. And my opponent concedes, realizing that the game is lost. All right, and here we are once again going first. And once again... the Descent. We're going to start off here with the Pot of Prosperity, and we are going to reveal... well, he was on the top. I could have just banished 3. We're always taking the Evil Seed here. It doesn't really matter what else we reveal, so there you go. We're going to normal summon the Seed. We're going to grab up the Wicked Butterfly, as well as the Bloom. Again, we're actually just going to banish the Nibiru here. Then we're going to go for the Bloom. We're going to search out the Armored Lizard and send to the graveyard the Wicked Butterfly. Special summoning out the Armored Lizard. This, I believe, was my first game with this deck, so... I kind of do the wrong thing here. Realistically, what I should have done is searched out Bloom and the and Wicked Butterfly, banish the Wicked Butterfly, use Bloom, grab the Armored Beetle, and send the Nibiru to the graveyard. Then shuffle back the Wicked Butterfly, special summoning the Samurai Beetle, which then would allow me to bring back an additional material. Granted, we have the Descent, so we basically do the same thing, but it does kind of cost me here. Because I go for the Descent here, and then I link off into the Mantis Monk. We go for the Mantis Monk effect. We're going to banish 2. Realistically, should have used the token. Don't know why I didn't use the token here. That's a goofy part on. That's a goof on my part, because now we can't go for the Link 5. We have to go for the Coils. So kind of tragic. Anyway, my opponent is going to normal summon this guy, which is kind of interesting. So there's that. But I'm just going to activate the effect of my Chain Coils here to lock them out of the utilizing the cards in the hand. We're activating the effects of cards in the hand, which does matter quite significantly. They're going to go for the Coral Anemone. I'm just going to pop that. They knew about this card, but yeah, they just concede. The effect Veiler's not live, but neither are any of their cards, so FTK enabled. Alright, we're back with the deck, and honestly, I got really lucky with this deck. I don't think this deck's very good, but it is incredibly fun. I really had a good time playing this deck. It's very low to the ground, very simple, and a lot of it comes from like just playing a bunch of hand traps, right? Which I think is both good going first and going second, which is pretty strong. But on top of that, you could also just, you could more heavily rely on things like Chain Coils in order to potentially, instead of playing a whole bunch of hand traps, you could instead play like actual traps like Judgments and Solemns and stuff like that. Honestly, wouldn't have been terrible. But all in all, I think it's a very fun combo. It's a very interesting deck. It's very simple and low to the ground, which I find very fun. It does lose to, like, everything under the sun. Loses to Droll, loses to Nibiru, loses to Ash Blossom. Not very good. But it's fun, and that's the important part, right? But that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did indeed enjoy. If you did, a like is very much so appreciated. And remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye. Shout out to the Frost Guard, my members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy the content.